grand final, competing for the trophy and the ultimate prize money and the kudos as well. So let's take a look at our console finals coming up now. You can see it is Falcon MS Dosari versus N Rasic on the Xbox side, and it's Ice Vogel versus Zazinio on the PlayStation side. So there could be a double German grand final. Equally, it could be a Saudi Arabian, it could be a Zazinio that wins it from Brazil. So very interesting to see how these finals go down. Germany in general, though, have got to be really happy with what's this? Jimmy loves to... What's up, Jimmy?
Hi, it's me again.
Hello.
So I saw you casting earlier with Mike LaBelle, and that wasn't the first time I saw you cast before. You did a little something that was just me and you. It was impersonating Brandon.
That was just for
you remember that? Let's roll the clip. Roll the clip.
Oh, dear.
So I can hear you. Yes. Yes, welcome to Manchester.
All right, you nailed that, by the way. I couldn't tell who was who. Because I hear Brandon's lovely voice, I heard yours, it was spot on.
So I didn't know it was obviously going up, but if we're going to bring it up, I remember your impression of Richard was interesting, to say the least.
You know what, I hadn't seen Richard in a while. I was doing my best.
Have we got a clip of it?
I don't think we have a clip of that.
I mean, that's a real shame.
Yeah.
All right, if we can dig that out for later, his impression of Richard is something to behold. But we have got some big games coming up now, and obviously we've got some actual casters, not impersonators of casters. We have got Mr. Richard Buckley, and we have got Mr. Brandon Smith. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Spencer. And how's it go? Welcome to Manchester. Well, we're here. Well, we're here for the FUT Champions Cup, the Spring Cup now, the console finals from it. And Richard, it is really that time now. You know, we said that we've had so many big games throughout the 3 days here. We can move past. I want to see this, you know, impersonation of you. I need to see this at some point today, maybe.
Yeah, thank you, Brandon. Richard Buckley here, your favourite Barnsley FC football fan, coming to you live from Manchester.
And yeah, obviously a big game coming up. Obviously, we're going to the PlayStation side of things first. Ice Vogel. If you don't know what Ice Vogel actually means in German, it means kingfisher. Hence why I was hearing from some of the starter guys that every time that he scored, they were doing bird noises like tweet twoo or something on those lines.
I want to see the Stark esports players doing bird noises for Ice Vogel, because right now he's flying high.
He's absolutely killing it right now, and he just took out Nicholas. No one has beaten him in the competition so far, and he was the first man to take him down, the only man that was unbeaten until the latter stages of that competition. He'll be coming up against Zazinio. You know, we know this man very well, Richard. We were in Los Angeles last year. He brought his mum along to this tournament. You know, it's basically a make or break. Obviously, they paid a lot of money to go over to that event. He went and won it. He played in that, you know, the FIFA Interactive World Cup final in London, and since then, we talk about you just need that one event to give you that bit of confidence to move on forward. And now look at him. He's in a cross-console, or not in a cross-console final, sorry, a console final.
Yeah, and if I remember back to the grand final last year, I think he finished top 16 there in London, in Los Angeles for the qualifier. You said his mum was there supporting him. Every time that he scored a goal, his mum were there.
Yeah.
Passionate as ever.
She was crying. She actually cried when he got through.
I think he's from a small village in Brazil, and this was quite a life-changing moment for him. And right now, he's not only playing for himself, but he's playing for him, family back for him in Brazil. You can see the stats there, Brandon, between the two sides coming up into this console final, evenly matched.
Yeah, definitely for that. You can just see the difference between the two. Obviously, 11 goal difference, obviously, for Zinio compared to the 9 for Ice Vogel. However, they both like scoring goals, it seems, but I think they struggle as well to keep them out in the competition, but you have to remember in some aspects, they've played a number of games in this competition, but they're all playing for that trophy there, Richard. Yes, they've got the playoff ticket. However, everyone, or the last 4 players in this competition right now, want to be lifting that cup in Manchester to a live crowd that's going to be rowdy and that's going to be enjoying this action.
Yeah, you got 2 fan favourites as well, 1 German, 1 Brazilian, so it's going to be quite a polarising reception from both of these players. I remember the penalty shootout that Zazinio did go through earlier. Every single penalty that his opposition was taking, I think it was Ulston was taking, he was getting booed. He was getting booed out of the building because the Brazilians, they're here to support their man. They all get together and they all want a Brazilian winner here in Manchester.
It was an incredible penalty shootout as well. It was a 12-12 in extra time, then it went to the penalty shootout there, I believe. Also, we didn't get to see the highlights of that one in the end. But over to the Xbox side of things, that'll be coming up again shortly. MS Dosari, That man is really, just killing it right now. He's just at the top of his game in this FIFA esports. And then Nicholas Rajek again. You remember that really heated game he had with Millennium Sam yesterday? Every single goal he scored, he was in his opponent's face saying, you know what, I deserve to be ahead of you right now.
And I spoke to hashtag Boras just upstairs before we did come down and cast these sets of games, Brandon. I said, what are you thinking for the winner? He said, you know what? Nicholas Rajek's not just been beating people, he's been destroying people. The way that he goes about and wins these games, it's emphatic, the results that he's picking up. So that game right there, Nicholas Rajek up against MS Dosari, it's going to be special.
It's going to be special indeed, and of course we're going to be calling those games, but two people on the couch right now, Jimmy and Chu, what's your predictions for these games?
Joe, how he is.
We weren't even ready yet for our predictions. We were just talking about it before the camera rolled on our faces. Now, Chu, who do you like? PlayStation first, you got Zazino versus Icevogel. Both surprises, frankly, getting to this spot, but maybe they shouldn't have been because they were both 5-2 in the Swiss format. So they both had pretty good runs against good competition along the way, and obviously did the business in the knockout rounds. Is there one that's standing out more than the other for you?
I'm going to go with the Iceman, Icevogel. I think a lot of luck has been going his way. I know he had that one game against Nicholas where he got that lucky deflection to go through, but it's been going the Iceman's way. I'm going to go with him.
I picked Nicholas to win it all.
That's true.
So I wanted Icevogel, and you just took my pick. I'm going to go with Zazino. I'm going to go with the Brazilian. I think he's got something about him. He's making the big plays when it matters. He's both offensively and defensively. They didn't get to play against each other.
That's true.
Now, in the other semifinal, Dosari versus Rasic, they did get to play against each other in the Swiss format. Dosari won that 3-2, so they'll have a little previous history from this competition. These guys have not played against each other, but there is one opponent that they both played against, and that was Mitchell Decibel. Now, Zazino beat him 8-1, whereas Icevogel only beat him 5-4. So I feel like Zazino might have a little bit of the edge.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's my rationale. Yeah, and then in the other semifinal, who do you like? Dosari versus Rasic.
Well, so I've got this thing in making predictions on air. I always get them wrong. So I would say that Rasic will win because I'm hoping that Dosari wins because I know his fan base, they're ridiculous. Shout out to them on Twitter. They love this man, and I don't want to see him let them down.
I'm going to go with you, even though you picked Rasic. I'm going to go with Dosari as well. He's been a cool customer throughout. He took down the very hot goal machine, and not just took him out, but like decimated him. Killed his spirit. 8-2 it was over 2 legs. Goal machine was taking out everybody. Took out Tex. He took out Tass. He took out everybody, or took out Gorilla, excuse me. So, he's taking down some big names. Dosari's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I got it 8-2.
Dosari is incredible. I mean, the one thing I've learned that a lot of people say about a lot of his opponents say is that he comes at you from so many different angles. It looks like he's controlling 5 players at the same time when it comes to putting defensive pressure on you. So he might trap you in your own half, force a mistake, and then you're picking the ball out of your own net.
All right, well, we're done with our predictions here. We want to see the real games and see what transpires. Now let's throw it back to the casters at the desk. Guys?
Thank you very much, Jimmy and Chu. And you heard it there. Bit of, I like this player, I like that player. They've got a lot of support, these guys. Obviously, MS Dosari from Saudi Arabia. We saw ESWC, another FIFA E-World Cup qualifier there. But obviously, before we jump into this game, there is majors, you could say, in this qualification period. Obviously, you've got Manchester here, you've had Barcelona back in January, but they're not just the qualifiers to get to the playoffs later on this year, are they? Yeah,
you've had league qualifiers, looking at the E-Divise, the Orange E-League in France. You also got the J-League, which I don't actually think started yet.
It hasn't yet. It hasn't. Obviously, those playoffs will be coming up soon. We don't know when they are, whether they're June, July time, and 128 players will be there. That's all we know at the moment. 64 each console. And the only way you can get there is through tournaments. You can't get there online unless there is one way you can get there online. There is a last chance qualifying weekend that is yet to still be announced of the exact weekend of that yet.
And then you've also got the individual competitions such as ESWC, which we saw last weekend in Paris, where #Aggie on the PlayStation side of things and FUTWiz Dubsy on the Xbox side of things secured their playoff place. Before that, Brandon, we were privileged enough to be commentating over the V4 Gaming Festival. 4 countries took part, and 2 people came out on top over there in Budapest as well.
Yeah, Gabini, obviously the Hungarian, and then Rip Torek, who played here in fact. And there was a number of players who did feature over there. Obviously, you got Molnar Garbo, he calls himself the Hungarian Beast. So, you know, there's a whole world of FIFA out there. You know, there's qualifiers, I believe, a number of them are VSL as well. You've got a Spanish qualifier coming up. You've got, actually, the La Liga, in fact. You've got, you know, the German one. We've just seen German Championship. Siam won that. Icevogel came second.
Tournament over in Argentina as well, Brandon.
Yeah, the TYC Argentina, I believe. That one's coming up next weekend. Nicholas probably will be playing in that one, you've got to say, and I think it's open just to the Americas region, so there'll be a number of Brazilians competing in that one too. But, you know, there were 16 spots here. That's why there's such a, you know, big viewership over at this event right now. But, you know, without further ado, Richard, let's jump into our first console final now. It's not the COS console final yet. It is the PlayStation 4 final between Icevogel and Zizinho, a German up against a Brazilian right now. You could say both players that coming into this tournament, you wouldn't have said they're going to be at this level, would you? This tournament has provided everything. Upsets, goals, I've said it a number of times, shocks. People have dropped out this competition that you wouldn't have expected to, but as a neutral in this FIFA scene, you love seeing an underdog.
You love seeing an underdog come all the way to the top and really put their name on the pedestal, you could say, and take their place on top of the pile, on top of great FIFA players. And over the weekend, there's been no one better than these two, you have to say. There's been people who have gone unbeaten, such as Nicholas, but then in the end, Icevogel was the one to dethrone him.
Well, as you know, the same situation throughout this tournament. We started on Friday with Swiss-style games, round 1 to round 7. Each game is a two-legged one. However, it's still two-legged here in the cross-console. Well, I'm getting so carried away. I'm just looking forward to this cross-console final, the big final. Obviously, F2 Techs won that back in Barcelona. Nicholas was the runner-up there. However, those two are out of the competition right now. It's new faces at this level, and it's basically a time for someone else to shine.
Yeah, and the first thing that's really caught my eye is Zizinho wearing this yellow strip, and the referee's in a nice luminous green number.
He's camouflaged him with the pitch, you could say, with the green jersey and socks. However, it will be Zizinho from right to left. Early on chance now for him. That one's blocked by Sergio Ramos. As we said, there's a number of Brazilians. I think there's 11 that qualified across both consoles there. There was 21 Germans that qualified over on the PlayStation 4 side of things. Only one of them is left. And then you've got to give credit to Rajek. There wasn't as many Germans that did qualify on the Xbox side of things. However, there's one still remaining in that final, which we will be coming up to shortly.
A lot of people counted out Nicholas Rajek coming into the tournament. Let's not forget, he was in the Xbox final, I believe, in Barcelona, Brandon, where he lost to F2 Techs.
You know, he's a really good player as well, and he seems to just thrive at these big events. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way, you know, you could say he plays there, but Zizinho right now, both of these guys have taken out big names from this competition. 5-4 win against Dito. Zizinho did beat him in that last round, the semi-final, you can say. And then obviously Icevogel, his last two games. Obviously Nicholas, he beat him 4-3. And then funny enough, he beat Maestro before that 4-3 as well. So it's not always convincingly, these wins, but as we know, Richard, a win is a win at the end of the day.
He gets the job done, and the only stat that people will look at the end of the game, after the 180 minutes of action have finished, is in the top left corner. Goals win games.
And they'll be hunting for a goal right now as he comes in with Ronaldo. Oh, lovely hill-to-hill ball roll inside. Tried to finesse that one, and David Aya called into action for the first time today.
Yeah, went for a low driven at the near post there, did Zizinho. He scored a very similar goal against Dito in that game, which did finish 5-4 in the semi-finals. So it's clearly something that he does like to do, that near post low driven shot after cutting inside with a right footer.
And whether it's, you know, you can see the badge that Icevogel has got just below him on the left-hand side of the screen. Whether that's a kingfisher, obviously Icevogel means kingfisher or bird on something on those lines in German there. And what a story this man has had. You know, he's been in our radar for a long time. You know, before even the February qualifying month, he was, you know, hitting out 40-0s, qualified on the Challenger Series online with Gfinity, competing in there, still in there, got drafted by Team Envy. Obviously plays for Stark Esports. And at the moment, he's just a gift that just keeps on giving.
And I said, do you think that playing in the Gfinity Elite Series has helped him? Playing at an event weekly, you get the time to analyse your gameplay after the week, you get time to turn for the errors, you could say, that you did have the week before, but also playing in an environment where it is a high-pressure situation. It's a best-of-1 game. And you're not only playing for yourself, but you're playing for a franchise. You're playing arguably for one of the biggest franchises in the GFIT Elite Series, Team Envious.
So their first time in FIFA, a massive esports organisation. It's great to see more and more get involved. And I was talking to him earlier, in fact, Rich, and I said, do you think you can go and win it? He went, you know what, maybe why not? Why can't I win it? Zizinho now, Kante with a shot. Probably wouldn't put all your trust in that man. But the Frenchman does register a shot for the stats. And he also said, Richard, as well, I said, Nicholas, what did you do against him? He said, I tried to control that game. I tried to control possession because that is what Nicholas wanted to do, because Nicholas is unpredictable.
Yeah, unpredictable, a great way to describe it. Icevogel's put in a very, very good, mature performance.
Oh, this is a chance early on, somehow blocked or saved. David Hay, I believe, just got the hand on that one. It's going to be played short, recycled to the edge of the box. Don't be hitting it with Maldini. I'm sure we'll be seeing it recycled again into Kante, into Messi. He wants to open on the left foot. That is very fortunate and superb defending from Marceau just to get in the way of Messi and say no thank you.
Got his body in between the man and the ball and just saw it out of play. Another short corner from Icevogel.
Get it away, clear that ball, drag back there. That was dangerous there from Vieira. He just done enough. Oh, an interesting effort to goal as well.
Yeah, just dove in there. We've seen a few slide tackles like that where you've got to question the thought process, because if you dive in with someone like Vieira, he gets sent off. Not only have you gave away a penalty and a red card, but it's a red card to arguably the most important player on the team, Patrick Vieira. A lot of people say he's the root to the team.
Zizinho now, look at the space, look at the time. Was he offside? I don't know, I have a feeling he's offside by the smile there of Icevogel. Or not?
I think Icevogel has broken the deadlock. 1-0 for that man from Germany.
And he has, playing in the FC Dallas kit there. Ruud Gullit, of all people, just stepping up out the blue. And just to reference that point you were saying, Richard, obviously back in Barcelona, yes, it was F2 Tex that did beat Rajak really late on. So obviously the winner there went all the way to pick up that crown in Barcelona. F2 Tex, he still put on a show here in Manchester, but just didn't get all the way to the area that he would have wanted to. Still, you know, brought up the skills as we know he can, but unfortunately he's not in our last four. Instead, it's Zizinho up against Icevogel on the PlayStation 4 side. And then surely it'll be MS Desari up against Nicholas Rajek from Germany.
You saw the stats there in the top left corner, 60% possession for Icevogel. Maybe he's going about this game the same way that he did go about tackling Nicholas, keeping the ball, not letting him have a lot of opportunities to come forward at him. We talked about Nicholas's performance in that game. He was playing quicker. You could tell that Icevogel got under his skin a little bit.
It was kind of one of them, wasn't it, where Nicholas just didn't know how to react. It was just constant attack after attack after attack, and you can see both players that are looking very composed still right now. But Zizinho, don't write this man off. Zizinho beat Dito, Richard. You know, on paper you'd be thinking Dito, you know, he's in his club's, you know, hometown there of Manchester City. Obviously, it would have been a perfect story. I spoke to his manager, obviously not Will from Manchester City, his own personal, you could say, agent that a number of players do have, and he said this is just such a special tournament for him. If he can go and win it at the big stage, it would just make everything, you know, just like the fairy tale, you could say.
Well, the fairy tale wasn't meant to be, and it's going to be a fairy tale for one of these two players. The winner of this two-layer game will be your PS4 champion here in Manchester. Icevogel, what a story he has had so far.
The gift that just keeps on giving right now from Germany. Here he comes through, Ronaldo! And he's 2-0 up. Just like that, makes it so easy.
Ronaldo doubles his lead straight from the second half. Getting underway. Low-driven shot with Cristiano. Got quite fortunate for the ball to bounce to him in that area, but he made no mistake from close range.
And if you give that man a meter, he will take a mile, literally. Not just Icevogel himself, but Cristiano Ronaldo. We know what that foot item can possess in those certain areas going forward. And now Zizinho, yes, he's still got a second leg, Richard. Of course he has, the Brazilian. And I'm sure we know, he said he's being supported by a small town in Brazil, as we knew back in Los Angeles last year as part of that FIFA Interactive World Cup qualification method. Obviously, the FIFA E World Cup now this year. Everyone is trying to get a place in those playoffs, and at the moment, Zizinho is 2-0 down.
2-0 down and not really had any sort of way of getting back into this game. You can see here just very, very mature play from IceVogel, keeping the ball in really good areas and just recycling it over.
And a 4-2-2, obviously the formation of choice there for IceVogel. We've seen it a little bit more, haven't we, recently, the 4-2-2. What do you think it is about that? Just, is it because, one, you still get your 2 CDMs in there, they can, you know, just dominate that back 4, or is it just, I don't really know. What do you think it is?
I think you get the 2 CDMs who can just patrol that area, but different to the 4-2-3-1. You've got 2 people to play up top with. A lot of the goals that we see players scoring is from L1 X passes, so it's the give and goes, quick give and goes in and around the box, and then you've got your 2 centre attacking mids who can constantly keep overlapping, especially if you've got a player like 95 Pele, 93 Thierry Henry in that area with the low-driven shot across the goalkeeper. The percentage of that going in, very high. With a 4-2-3-1, you're going to be shooting from more of a wide angle.
Yep. Also, it gives you the, the chance, if you are playing wide with those cams, if you put an Henry there, or a Hullet on the right side, as you did mention, you can cross it. You know, Marcelo's got an unbelievable crossing stat if you want to go that attacking with him. Back post, we've seen it a number of times right now when Hullet can leap up above the rest. Ramos will go into the book for IceVogel, but more of just a case of breaking up the play for him.
That team of the year, Sergio Ramos item. What a card he is in the game. He can pretty much play anywhere. 96 short passing that man does possess. Enables him to play out from the back.
You would be surprised, you're thinking what a 5-yard pass is one of the more simplest jobs for a pro player when they're playing the game of FIFA. But the amount of times you see people give away possession in those areas, you would honestly be surprised.
How many times do we see people trying to play out from the back, giving it straight to the attacker, and then they concede a goal? You get into habits, and if you get into the habit of pressing X or pressing A out of defence, it's very hard to break that.
You look back last year, I think you're kind of looking more towards the goalkeeper throws. Do you remember back last year, obviously some keepers didn't have that giant throw trait. People were, just throwing the ball out from their goalie, and they were just losing the battle. If you got a Ronaldo there that can jump, he was just winning every time. And this is the first leg of the PlayStation console final. A 2-legged affair, as we always know. The winner of this would be your PlayStation champion, you can say. However, he'll be waiting in that cross-console final for either MS Dasari or Nicolas Razek.
Nicolas Razek looking to go one step further than what he did in Barcelona.
That's going to be an interesting one, Richard, because it's that mental side of it. He's going to be back in the exact same position he was in Barcelona. He's going to be worrying about it. He's going to be thinking, what can I do wrong? What can I do better, essentially? What did I do wrong last time? Because obviously he beat Gorilla in Barcelona, got himself through against F2 Tex, and we know how unstoppable that man was back in Barcelona.
Yeah, I don't think anybody were going to stop him, really. Tex in Barcelona, but he did get stopped this time round in Manchester. An elite list of names.
Well, come on, Zizinho, get yourself a goal. Saved by David De Gea. Neymar. Trying to just do a basic roulette there.
If you are just joining us and you're wondering, oh, where's the more popular names? Where's your Gorillas? Where's TAS? Where's Shells? Hashtag Aggie? They're all out.
We've got stories about all of them for you if you want to know about them. Players crashing out the tournaments, it's essentially people like these guys, the guys that have obviously done their homework, come into this tournament, literally taking it game by game. Could it be worse? What a tackle, Marcelo there.
Yeah, big recovery tackle. Played short into Neymar. The short corner, typically the most used corner technique in the game. It's either played short or it's played into that front post area, looking for maybe a Ronaldo or a Sergio Ramos to win a flick on.
It will be Neymar just to switch the play there in a very unfamiliar left back position, you could say. Oh, lovely triangle there, obviously. from Pele into Hullet, nearly into Ronaldo. Look at the chance, look at the space. David De Gea, the timing of that. Bringing out the keeper, just pressing triangle, Richard. It plays all the difference.
Yeah, just played a little bit too late then for Icevogel, looking to take his lead to 3. Good tracking from Sergio Ramos on that occasion.
This could be a chance. Oh, lovely idea there. Referee! No!
Played the ball.
You can just see the disappointment in his face as well. But 2-0, yes, okay, it's not great on paper, but in FIFA, it's easy to bring back. Get yourself a goal, set this up for a proper tie. Maldini knew nothing about that one, Richard, but when they've got the stats they do possess, they will be in the correct positions at the right times as well.
Yeah, the things like interceptions, marking, stand tackle, slide tackle. It's almost, when you're not controlling them, they're the stats that matter when you're looking at an interception, or things like aggression, attack positioning. When it's the AI controlling the players, that's when those stats really do pay the difference.
A little chip out the back there. You're Icevogel right now. You just seeing this game out right now? There's no real intention or need to go and get another goal. You should be happy with this. If if you're breaking the game up into two separate halves, essentially, of 19 game minutes, go and get yourself at least a lead to bounce off next game, and he's done that. He's done that exceptionally well.
And he also has something to protect as well. We know that he can play possession.
Oh, that was nearly the killer ball there. Messi on that left foot, line up a shot, ball roll into another ball roll. Centre-back setting himself up for this second game, and he's done it in style with Messi.
We talked about how he can play possession. Right now he's got a 3-goal lead to protect in that second leg. You got to think it's going to take a huge performance from Zizinho, something that we've not seen from him in this tournament so far, to bring back this game and to peg it back all square.
And look back at that goal, Richard. It was 2 occasions. Just don't dive in. Do not dive in. 2 simple ball rolls. You know which way he's going to go. Messi on that left foot is deadly, as we know. He won't go on the right foot. He hasn't got the weak foot for it. Ah, nearly there. And there goes the full-time whistle in that one. Richard could say part 1 of this final is complete, and it's 3-0 right now to Icevogel. You thought 2-0, there could be a comeback. 3-0 now. There's a job on this man's hands.
Yeah, it's a big, big mountain right now for Zizinho. Has he got it in his locker to turn this game around? He's had some massive results, granted, in this tournament so far, but in the final, I feel as though it's a different vibe almost. It's like now or never. Even though you're so close, yet you're so far.
But we know in FIFA terms, Richard, for the amount of that we have watched at this level, 3-0, it can just be wiped. It can be wiped. If you have an early start in the next game, don't get me wrong, he's got enough Brazilians there. 11 of them qualified for this competition. I'm sure that, as he's the only one left in this, they'll all be supporting him right now. Spider Kong, the likes of those kind of players, they'll be right behind him, supporting him there. But unfortunately, it didn't go to plan for him, and it was all Icevogel.
All Icevogel. You see the chance there. Got very fortunate for the ball to break to Ronaldo at that opportunity. And then Messi late on, low-driven shot past the goalkeeper. De Gea helpless in goal. If you're thinking about Zizinho right now, you're trying to pick up a game plan. What do you need to do? I think if he does have kick-off in that first half of the second leg, try and get something straight away. Try and get back into the game. Give yourself a little bit of hope, something to work towards. Because if you're going into half-time, still 3-0 down, got to think it's just not going to happen for you.
Oh, however, we did catch up with that man that is currently trailing 3-0 ahead of this big game. Over to Zizinho.
Feeling good about my gameplay this weekend, and I hope to keep calm into the finals so I can do my best again. Yeah, it feels so good to have my friends around here. They are always supporting me on the backstage and here too, so I feel more confident with them near me.
Well, you heard it there from him. I said about there's 11 Brazilians here. They can easily go and give him some tactical advice. What's he doing wrong? They can see, well, there's another 10 of them there to just look at what he's doing wrong, whether it's his finishing, whether he's panicking in certain situations. Surely that's going to be a help for him.
Well, can't exactly give him tactical advice because you're not allowed to have a coach on the stage with you, but they can get behind him. I'm sure through them Turtle Beach headsets, if they really do start making some noise, they will be able to make an impact on this game. I keep going back to it, but it's a perfect example. Ziggo battle last year, Brandon. It was the grand final. It was in Amsterdam, and it was Ajax Danny, the player homegrown from Amsterdam. He was in the grand final, and the fans were completely behind him. They were booing Tas when he came out. Danny went on to win the game over 2 legs against Tasu. At that point, was won last year, probably the best player around on Xbox at the minute.
I see what you're saying there, obviously. Of course, we are playing in England right now, and you know, there is no English players, unfortunately, in the last 4 here, but you know, there's some unbelievable talented players, and if you've got 10 Brazilians right there, you can hear them chanting right now for him. You can hear it behind him. You can imagine every single goal that will go in, they'll make a little bit of noise. They'll give that man some more confidence, but it's game on for Cezinho right now, the Brazilian that's travelled miles to come here. 3-0, he is down. An early start could be massive. Just finesse it to the left, or the keeper's left-hand side.
Went for a low driven. We talk about repetition. That's the thing that the pros do. If they get in their mind that this shot is the best shot to do in every situation, it's very hard to break out of them trends when you play thousands of games.
Oh no, it could be worse for this man now. Icevogel. Oh wow, that's superb play. He could have shot on the first time. He could have shot on the second time. A fake shot, dropped the shoulder, and a low driven to say, you know what, Cezinho, no thank you. I'm 4-0 up right now.
He's absolutely taking him to the shops there. He's on the floor. He don't know what to do. Icevogel's 4-0 up on aggregate, and this is the worst possible start if you are supporting Cezinho. If you're a German, if you're supporting Icevogel, you're thinking, who am I going to be playing in that cross-console final?
It's early, though. You was expecting an early goal from Cezinho. However, the script has not gone to plan there.
End-to-end stuff, though. Cezinho had the chance at one end. Icevogel straight up the other end from the counter-attack.
And it looks like we'll see, as we can see a bit of delay here. I'm expecting a change straight away. There's a 4-4-2 in action for Cezinho. He is not messing about right now. He needs all the support from his fellow Brazilians that have turned there. What a goal that is from Icevogel. He could have maybe shot on 2 or 3 occasions there, but waited for the perfect chance. It's like going from an 80% shot, 85%, to a 90% chance of that going in.
Yeah, maybe even a 95% when you've got a team of the year Cristiano Ronaldo from, what, 7 yards out, left foot or right foot, you're pretty much guaranteed a goal.
At the moment, the German Icevogel, they call him the bird, the Kingfisher. From Stark Esports, representing Team Envious right now. And what a move that is for them, obviously, to draft that man coming into the FIFA Esports ace. They must be over the moon with the effort they're making. Wow! Icevogel, I think, even surprised himself with that goal. He now leads 5-0 there. Ronaldo runs away with a big C. As Cezinho, speechless right now, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to get himself out of this hole.
I don't know if you can hear that behind us. I think that is the bird noises from the guys at Stark Esports. Because he's called the Kingfisher, when he does score, we get a little bit of reaction. We get a little bit of a bird noise here or there. 5-0 up.
As I said, if you do type in Icevogel onto Google, try and translate it, we'll say Kingfisher or bird in German there. But this is the start that Cezinho needed. A 2-0 lead, not going down 2-0 goals.
Yeah, and
this is probably the best start in a game we've seen throughout these 3 days. 2 goals in 9 minutes. And this isn't a Swiss-style game. This isn't, you know, a round of 16, a round of 32. This is a final, Richard. And that man is certainly up for it right now.
This is a console final, and Icevogel looks fresh as ever. I've said it again. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. If you look into this man's eyes while he's playing FIFA, he's like a great white shark. He smells blood in the water, and he's wanting to eat Cezinho right now.
Well, at the moment, if you look at the scoreline, it is going that way. 5-0 now on aggregate. Surely, is that a 3 at the back I've just seen? Surely not. Yeah, it's a 4 at the back still. I can relax a little bit. He's not just throwing everything at it.
He needs to, though. He's 5-0 down. Just do something to get back into the game. Or are you thinking, I don't want this to get embarrassing?
Cut inside. Cezinho, you need a goal right now. Come on, that's the one. Get the ball. And start a comeback. No reaction. I think he just looked over to the clock there. 3 goals in, I believe, under 15 in-game minutes potentially right now. And here we go. Look, 12 minutes on the clock, Rich. I'm pretty sure these guys need to be careful because their pauses will be running out very soon.
Yeah, that's definitely something that could happen. 5-1 the scoreline. 13 minutes gone in this game. The way that Icevogel's playing right now, I find it very hard for Cezinho not to concede. Just the way that Icevogel, every attack that he has, seems to produce either a golden opportunity or a goal.
Well, it's a difference now, isn't it? Because obviously Icevogel will be playing as normal. Zizinho will be taking more risks. He'll be playing more attacking tactics, obviously. You know, the player instructions, they might be a lot different. There might not be as many people sitting back while attacking. So there's always going to be that risk, but you have to take them. It's one of those we always talk about. Would you rather lose, what, 8-1 and go for the game, or sit back and just, you know, stay at this scoreline? You have to go for it.
You have to go for it, especially in a console final, when you've got everything to play for.
Zizinho, can you make something special happen? He's still a long way, don't get me wrong. However, if he can get 2 goals before half-time, 5-3 on aggregate, sets himself up for 2 more goals. I'm just trying to write a draft script here. I'm not saying it's going to go that way.
I'll tell you what Icevogel's going to do. You're writing that draft script. Icevogel's wanting to rip it up.
With another goal. We shall see how this game goes. Obviously, this is the second leg. We've still got the Xbox console final to come between MS Tassari, the Saudi Arabian, versus Nicholas Rajek. And as I think the guy said on the couch, all these guys that are in the console finals went 5-2 in games, Richard. 5 wins, 2 losses. They've all tasted a loss at some point in this competition, but they got it out of the way early. They got that loss out of the way early.
And it just shows that you don't have to be flawless in qualifying, no matter how you get through. It's all about getting those 4 wins. And then, because it's over a longer format as well, this tournament, it's over 3 days, you have to almost... You can't peak too early, Brandon. You have to be able to play and get better as the weekend goes on. It's very hard to stay at a consistent level throughout the weekend. You see players dip their form, peak their form like a roller coaster. Look at Nicholas. He was going up and up and up and up and up, and we thought he was going to win the tournament.
Icevogel, do not crash any Brazilians' dreams right now. Somehow, he just about defends it. This guy, well played there, Maldini, superb. Just got in the way there, blocked the run of Ronaldo.
What a player that 94 prime Maldini is. 86 pace, 96 defending on that man at the back.
And as you said about the former players here, you know, if we go back to the, the Barcelona event before that, when the game came out in September, it takes time to get to the top level in this game. You can see this now. This is why this kind of players are coming through the ranks right now at the highest level.
Yeah, if you look throughout the year, you have players constantly evolving their play style, getting better at the game.
Oh no, is it game over? What a save, David De Gea. Didn't know much about that one.
Constantly evolving. Some people start strong, such as maybe like a Dax. Usually, first couple of months of the game, very, very solid. Some people end the year very strong. I'm thinking towards maybe an Ajax Danny comes into the last end of the year, maybe like June till September. That's his best form.
That was it. He's just dragged back for no reason. Messi on that left foot, get a shot away. One more goal, maybe before half-time, and we could have a game on now. David De Gea pulls out a massive save, counter-attack down the other end, and look at the timing of that shot. If it was 1 second earlier, it would have been blocked by the defender. 1 second
earlier, 1 second later, David De Gea might get out and spread himself very well to block that ball. 5-2 the scoreline. I'm not getting too ahead of myself, Brandon.
You know I've written this script though, Richard. You know it's waiting to be printed if he can somehow pull it back. But Icevogel, you saw him knocking on the door still of Zizinho. He wants to ensure that he could just say no thank you. There's no comeback at all. But I tell you now, those Brazilians that are supporting that man, yes, they may have been out of the competition. Some of them would have got a playoff place. But they'll be supporting this man. They want him to bring back the crown. Or the trophy, sorry, to Brazil. And Icevogel now just trying to find a way through. Ronaldo, is he going to end the dreams of the Brazilians? A big save.
That's 2 huge saves now from David De Gea in a very short space of time. You often say, sometimes when your goalkeeper is playing this well, it gives you a little bit more, because that's the one position that you don't have a lot of control over. And if that's going for you, maybe the players that you can control, maybe that can spark a little bit of a comeback for you.
I like this though, relentless attacking from Icevogel. Will there be one more chance before half-time for Zizinho right now?
3 added minutes at half-time.
Keep the ball, make an attack, get yourself a goal before half-time. Well played, Icevogel by Maldini as well. Straight down the other end now. Somehow still in possession there Bullet into Vieira. Messi. Ronaldo, he's got his back to goal right now. Fakes to go left, fakes to go right. Superb play though from Icevogel right now. The patience when he attacks is incredible. Tried to do a drag back, get rid of that. We're into half time now, Richard. The 3-goal difference between these two.
Yeah, plenty to play for, Brandon, right now. 5-2 the scoreline. But we have seen Zizinho produce like quite remarkable results in this tournament so far.
You know, look back to one of the games. He went through a 12-12 thriller, I think is the word you want to say, against FIFA Østen from Denmark and Brøndby. Obviously went to penalties in the end, but 12-12 in normal time. It's never easy, is it, Rich?
And then still had the composure to win on penalties as well. Something that this year, penalties, it's a lottery. You can go the right way with your goalkeeper, he might dive over the ball. You can shoot the right way, the goalkeeper might save it. You've got to say, is his luck in?
And no one wants to go to those penalties, obviously, do they? Because it can go any way, but obviously, as we know, there has to be a way to separate these two, and we're just jumping into this second half now of this second leg. Still 3 goals between these two, but Icevogel is in the driving seat right now.
And straight away, as the second half has started, he's swatched onto defensive.
And he's brought on a Brazilian to help him out. A Frenchman and a Brazilian. Kante comes on, and so does Neymar. Icevogel, he wants to start early. Referee, no, we're playing on from that one.
Yeah, looked like it could have been a free kick there. And they get impeded. Referee lets it go.
Let's remember as well, both of these guys have really special stories in the competition. You know, we followed Zizinho in Los Angeles last year. His mum came all the way from Brazil, from a small village. He said, you know, everyone's watching home, everyone's supporting my son, and next thing you know, he went and won, got himself a ticket to London, and you know, he made his mum really proud. And then on the other side of that, Icevogel this year, you know, he's just been making waves. Incredible.
Yeah, making waves and taking names, you could say, as well, that some of the opposition that he has beat. He's picked up big result after big result, and I'll go back to it again. I think him playing in the G3 Elite Series, Brandon, every single week has been...
1-2, could be game over, Richard, right now. Massive save, David De Gea. Again, he is pulling them out the bag for this man.
That's a hat-trick of saves that David De Gea has clutched up and made.
He's going to recycle now. Ronaldo, he tries to drop a shoulder.
That's what I was saying about Icevogel. Playing week in, week out against elite level competition in a high pressure situation with Gfinity, with Team Envious, I think has built him for an experience like this where he's got to play consistent over 3 days.
And it is a 2-legged affair as well. You know, these guys are used to, you know, FUT Champions, 1 leg. If we need to, we'll go to extra time. You know, other qualifications, you know, ESWC Online, 1-legged games until you get to the latter stages in the competition. Icevogel, can he defend? Or Zizinho will try and get in. Valencia there, that was a bit fancy. Tried to find a way through a Neymar, but time is running out now. And Icevogel, this is game management right now. You know, he did qualify via the ESL Championship. They're up against, Seaham there. You know, he did lose that. Yes, he got the playoff place. Yes, he made a final. But that is something that plays in your mind, plays in your head. Could I have seen that game out? Could I have done better in that position? And he'll learn from that. Yeah,
I often say it's wins and lessons, Brandon. You don't lose, you learn. And he'll have learned from that experience losing in a final of a major tournament.
It was #Ryan yesterday who was getting interviewed by Maverick. He said, you know what, I may have lost, but I'll learn from this. I'll come back stronger. And that is the way you have to approach these tournaments.
And what he's doing right now is just keeping the ball, just pulling out Zizinho's players, not really wanting to go forward that much, just playing the clock.
Slowing it down, keeping possession where Zizinho can't hurt him. Kante into Marcelo. And one more goal will just literally kill this tie, surely. I know it's far away anyway at the moment. Ronaldo there resolved it. That's even, you know, even cleverer for that man. So mature in the way he plays. Oh, maybe something special there. But look, wave after attack here. Just recycling possession. And just cleared in the end by Zizinho. But 3 goals right now. Pause has been made by Icevogel. A tactical change, you'd think. One of the typical instructions, everybody, just stay in my half and defend for your life right now.
Yeah, Icevogel's queued that pause for a little while now. Still not come in for him. And that time, I often say it's like an egg timer. It's been turned over for Zizinho, and it's slowly fading away.
Zizinho now inside, Kante, Ronaldo, that touch. Sometimes when it's just not your day.
You saw the shake of the head there, heavy touch from Ronaldo. He's probably thinking, out of the 100 times where I've played that into him, this is the one time where he brings a heavy touch and messes up my opportunity to score a goal.
You've got to think, because every second in this game passes, it is running out now. The dream is slowly running out, or maybe not. 2 goals in just over 10 in-game minutes right now. It'll be a very big job for him to do, but if he can, wow, what a tie this would be.
Icevogel right now, switching into a 4-2-3-1, getting the 2 CDMs just to sit in front of that back 4, come back on defence for Messi, for Hullet. Who are we going to see come on? It's going to be De Bruyne in at centre attacking mid as well.
Not the players you'd usually put stay back while attacking, is it?
But what he's done is, he's put, I think he's going to put Hullet in at centre attacking mid. More of a physical presence. He can hold the ball up, he can play off of him. Henry, he's got medium work rates. That enables him, he's going to trap back on defence. He's going to help out the fullbacks when his opponent is attacking.
Well, here we go. I'm guessing Zizinho is free at the back now. He's getting a few cheers from his Brazilian mates. It's now or never in this PlayStation final. The winner will go into that cross-console final. You could say will be the PlayStation 4 champion here. And here we go. Waiting for Zizinho right now. I'm presuming it's all attack. Get yourself up there and go and make yourself a hero right now.
I imagine it's a 3-4-2-1 or something with a 3 at the back variation. Probably stay forward on pretty much every single player who has that instruction available.
Just to put this in hindsight, remember that it was 5-1 after 10 minutes in the second game. If he can pull this back, it will be a miracle. The thing Fogel wants to do right now, he's gone defensive.
Just keep the ball for as long as possible. Whatever you do, do not give the ball away to Zizinho from this kickoff. That's the essential. Keep it maybe 84th, 85th minute, and then maybe look to a corner. Keep the ball as far away from your goal as possible, just like in these areas right now. You can't be punished if you lose the ball here.
Such a good area as well to try and keep possession out on the flanks, because all you're trying to do is just pull out. You know, he's playing on the left, he's playing on the right, obviously depending on what side you're playing, it just helps open it up. And if he can get a chance before the 85th minute, we could be in for a cracker right now. Ah, really poor touch from Walker there. Somehow, he's somehow in possession. Look at that run. Play him on that right-hand side. Drive now. Ronaldo, ball roll into CR7, linking back inside that heavy touch, the sprint touch.
Solid defending from Icevogel and Marcelo, just to get in front of R9 on that touch. And very, very hard to high press in this game without getting caught out at the back. So Zizinho, he's probably got 100 aggression, 100 pressure on his players.
You have to say, you know, looking at some of these games that Icevogel has played, doesn't win every game, you know, by a number of goals. Beat Maestro 4-3, I believe, in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals. Beat Nicholas 4-3 again. You know, they're just small details. Referee, that was a bit naughty. Chance for Icevogel to kill the game. Ooh.
He's tried dinking him there. I think one word to describe Icevogel: mature. It's mature performances. He's not going out to score 10, 12 goals. He's going out to get the result, get the W, and move on into the next stage. And the next stage for him is a cross-console final, because he is the PS4 champion, Brandon.
He's been on absolute fire this year. Ever since, I'd say, the start of January, he's been really picking up. Congratulations, Icevogel, the Kingfisher. Look at the support there from the start, guys. And he's done it. It's like he comes into every game with a plan, Richard. Like a mathematical plan. How am I going to break this game down? How am I going to start it? How am I going to finish it? Obviously, with a winner. A handshake from both of them there. Great sportsmanship. And Zizinho, commiserations to that man. But just look how, you know, how much that man has progressed. We saw him in Los Angeles really making a name for himself in Brazil. And now, you've got to say he's in the handful to be one of the best players out there at the moment. Obviously, no Rafifa and Lucas Rep at the moment. They'll be desperate to get back onto that big stage. However, players like Zizinho coming through the ranks at the moment are fearless.
Yeah, what a performance from Zizinho in this competition. But in the end, Icevogel has pipped him to the post, and he is the PS4 champion in Manchester. What a performance from him. see some of the goals that did go in that second leg, Brandon.
Well, this was the interesting first 12 minutes. That was after 4 minutes. That was after 9 minutes from Icevogel. So at this point, it was 5-1. And then it was Zizinho's turn after that.
Zizinho did try sparking a comeback, but in the end, a little bit too little too late for that man.
And even when we thought there might be a little bit of hope, edge of the box there, that was that chance for Zizinho, but unfortunately in the end he will crash out the tournament. Obviously, I think it was 5-3 in the end between those two, and it was just a 2-goal deficit between them, Richard. But as we know, still a number of games to come. Obviously still an Xbox final and that big cross-console final. You know that big man, Icevogel, is waiting in there. We'll be back shortly for Mr. Dasari up against Nicholas Rajek.
The most important piece of kit is your boots. You must take care of everything properly. It's a very demanding job, kit. You get a lot of respect from the players. My name is John Clark. I'm the proud kitman for Celtic.
The FIFA 18 Global Series is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola Gaming.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FUT 18 Champions Cup here in Manchester. I'm your favorite former U.S. men's national team player, Jimmy Conrad, and I've got the best seat in the house. I've got this couch, and I've got some friends. Mike LaBelle from the New York Red Bulls, Abdou Sarr, who is my favorite Frenchman. Used to be Antoine Griezmann, but you've taken over the #1 spot, my friend.
Ready?
Yes, you have.
That was smooth.
I know, it's a big honor.
I like
it's
that.
It's a big honor.
Make me impressive.
Yes.
Nice
You should hold that dear in your heart.
It's nice.
Now, we just saw an incredible console final. PS4. Icevogel goes through. Unbelievable. The German, you know, he did lose to the Stranger in the Swiss format earlier on. I was like, this guy's good, but he did lose to the Stranger 9-3. Then later on in the Swiss format, he lost to Damie, 12-9. He gave up a ton of goals. It's like, well, maybe this guy isn't for real. But then when he hits the knockout rounds, he's just cruising. He beat Nicolas, who I thought was the favorite to win this whole thing. He had a couple close encounters, but I feel like that tightness has allowed him to emerge as a victor, deal with some adversity in a positive way, and now we see him not only win the console final, but get to the grand final. What have you liked about Eisvogel's game?
Well, it's definitely a good time to find your stride. And I think he does such a good job of finding the right pass in the final third, and that's much more difficult to do than it really looks when you're watching these guys, because everyone's chasing players back and they're cutting off some of the angles, and he's so good with the L1 or it would be the LB trigger, where you're doing a lot of quick turns side to side to get the right angles, to open up the lanes for the passes and the shooting. What do you think?
Yes, for me, one of the best facts for Eisvogel, so he played his game, you know, so he just came to beat Nicolas, as we saw before, and on mortality, he was very good, very impressive. So I want to congratulate Zezinho, because what he did today is very impressive, very amazing, but unfortunately, it has been first of one of the best players of the day, so Eisvogel, who beat Maestro, who beat Nicolas, and it's just huge.
Now, do you feel like when you're Eisvogel and you beat Nicolas, who everybody's talking about, we're talking about it here at the couch, they're talking about it at the desk, he's the guy, he's the favorite, you beat him, you're feeling like you're playing with house money. How much confidence would you have if you beat like the #1 seed?
Confidence is definitely going up, and more importantly, your future opponents take that into consideration, that you beat the favorite with Nicolas. And I think that plays into their mental going into the match. Like, this guy might be really special. And if you play tentative in FIFA, you are never rewarded.
All right, well, that was the recap of what just happened in the PS4 console final. Let's take a look at a recap of the whole tournament.
It was a very close game against Dito, and it's quite funny because we know each other a long way back. We were like the old school here, probably.
A lot of people, and here's a big chance on Ronaldo. There we go. It is 3-3.
I was very lucky at the second game.
Yeah, second game, I thought if that chance went in with Ronaldo, you know, anything can happen. But yeah, he deserves to win overall. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, with the result, I am happy, but not with my performance. I think I played better yesterday, and this is the difficulty of the tournament because it's spread over 3 days.
At all hours. Yeah. Emotional, man. Like, I've never got this far in a tournament, especially a big one, so I'm just happy.
I came into the match knowing that DH6 was going to be a tough opponent, and I just try to play as best as I can and the way I like to play.
In the knockout stages against FUT Champions, I started to play really well, and I continued like that. And I'm glad that my tactical changes worked, and yeah, I'm in the next round.
How you gonna get back in the game without green, power, stacks, hours?
Now, if you haven't already remembered to link your EA Twitch accounts, go to ea.com/Twitch, and you have a chance to earn a Twitch drop. Now, today's remaining drops include De Gea, the Team of the Year, 97 rated, and Cristiano Ronaldo at right wing, his birthday card, 95 rated. So make sure you guys do that. Very exciting, these Twitch drops. It's fun to be a part of the stream and feel like we can interact with you guys. Now, those two cards in particular, Team of the Year, birthday card, Team of the Year De Gea, excuse me, birthday card for Cristiano Ronaldo. Which one would you prefer in your team?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's a winner, right?
Birthday,
not that
yeah.
De Gea is not.
No, but it's Cristiano.
But before we get into that, actually, I want to give a shout out to Manchester City, who just won the league, because De Gea wasn't a winner today in real life. They lost 1-0 at home to West Brom. So congratulations to City. United, better luck next season. All right, now I'm going to go actually to some social media. Got from Giraffe 1991, who says, nice tournament so far, hashtag FIFA E World Cup. Thank you for watching. Another one here from Kronto 119. Currently watching the FIFA E World Cup from the hospital. Looking forward to seeing more action from Dasari and everyone else. Hope you're feeling better in the hospital. Get well soon. And this one is from Edward MG1, who says, I'm looking forward to seeing Dasari play Eisvogel in the grand final. Don't get ahead of yourself. And Rasik might have something to say about that. Now, speaking about that game in particular, the Xbox console final. Got ahead of, I was thinking PlayStation. A lot of PlayStation there. Who do you guys like? Dasari's been cruising. Abdul, you can go first. My favorite Frenchman.
Yeah,
or in Rasik. Are we going to see an all-German final because Eisvogel is German as well?
No, I want to watch Dasari. first.
You think?
Yeah.
You think he's the guy?
Yeah, he is the guy.
No doubt he's the favorite, but I said maybe this is the time, and Rastic is due to get to a grand final. He's been knocking on the door. He's not a fan favorite, and I'm not sure why. He's almost become like a villain when you put him up against different people.
Okay, that's fair. Now, these two have the opportunity to play against each other in the Swiss format. Okay, we'll take a look here at the graphic right now. Dasari against Enrasic. Vogel got through to the grand final. We'll see who he's going to play. Dasari won in the group stages, 3-2. So who has the advantage now that they're playing again?
Nobody.
No, you don't think anybody?
I think anybody for me, because it's not the same game, you know. You can play in group stage, you can win in group stage, but when you play in final, it's not the same game ahead on your head, you know. So. All
right, well, let's take a look at the stats here. Now, Dasari has scored 63 goals, only given up 32, and Enrasic has scored a bunch. He's got 80 goals, so you know he's going to hit the back of the net. Though when these two played against each other, like I mentioned, it was 3-2 in favor of Dasari. Enrasic won that second leg 1-0. These guys are going to play this game pretty tight. Do you expect something similar in this one, or do you think, I don't know, it's going to be more high-scoring affair?
It's hard to predict because it's a new day and a new
putting
mindset.
You on the spot.
Yeah,
when you come on my couch, Mike,
I think it's going to be. I got you.
No.
I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. I know the people at home are thinking MS Dasari is going to get a very easy victory, and I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think Enrasic's going to put up a fight, and he doesn't mind that he doesn't have the crowd on his side. He's been able to play through a lot of adversity, so we're going to find out soon.
Okay, we'll find out soon. You're straddling the fence here. Pick a side. Who do you got?
I've taken Enrasic on the on the upset.
Okay.
Just maybe to go against the people here. I know everybody's going with MS Dasari. I know.
What are you going with?
Dasari.
Dasari.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be with you.
I know you are.
So,
okay.
Enrasic is great today.
Okay,
so
all right. So 1 for Enrasic, 2 for Dasari. Let's see what the casters have to say. Guys?
Thank you very much. Jimmy, Mike, and Abdu there. You saw both players saying it's going to be a different game, as we know these two have already matched up in the Swiss-style format, which MS Dasari did beat Nicolas Rajek. But if you've been following the Global Series, if you've watched Barcelona, you would have known that Nicolas Rajek got to basically the same place here, and unfortunately, he fell over or fell up against FUT Tex, didn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he fell up. I'd say that he ran into the FUT Tex whirlwind in Barcelona. I don't think anybody was beating him. Play on the El Tornado.
Was that like a wind of skills and literally everything?
A wind of techers, as he would say right now. Recently signed with F2 Freestylers, but it's not about Tex at the minute. It's about these two players, MS Dasari and Nicolas Rajek. Some of the results that these two have been through. Round of 32, MS Dasari, 6-1 victory. Round of 16, 7-1 victory. Quarterfinal, 5-1. Semi-final, 8-2. He's blown every single person out of the water that he's played against.
But they have both lost 2 games. Remember, back in the Swiss-style format, every single player that was in the competition from the semi-finals, from the finals onwards, the last 4 all went 5-2 in Swiss style. They both won 5, or they all won 5 games, so they all lost 2 games. Nicolas Rajek, he lost to MS Dasari, and he lost to Gorilla, and then MS Dasari lost to Janos and Dax. So it's kind of just a big circle here, because then Rajek went and beat Dax. So you can't really call this, but obviously we've seen both of these guys in action, you could say, in the competitive year. We were in the ESWC, obviously, another FIFA E World Cup qualifier. We saw MS Dasari really his chance to get on the big stage. And then he got himself out of the groups, he topped it. He had 6 points there. Mayo got through as well, who made that final. Dax and Harry didn't get through. That was Group 3 in ESWC. And like that, early as it can be, Nicolas Rajek just saying, you know what, Dasari? Yes, you're from Saudi Arabia. Yes, you've got a big fan base at the moment, but I'm here to play FIFA. Rajek beat Gorilla back in Barcelona. You know, there's a reason why he's in this same place as he was last time.
Yeah, De Gea left flat-footed there. Lionel Messi breaking the deadlock for Rajek 10 minutes in. In that Coca-Cola kit, Rajek kicking from right to left. MS Dasari in the white, kicking from left to right.
The point I wanted to say before got interrupted by a lovely Nicolas Rajek goal was that MS Dasari did come third in that competition, so he has qualified for the Sao Paulo Brazilian one, but he said, if I can, oh my, what's going on there? Get rid of the ball. That just hit the bar.
Wow.
But MS Dasari said, if I do get a playoff place here, I don't know if I'll need to go and play ESWC Brazil, because he's already got his playoff ticket.
And he has got his playoff spot.
He has. Obviously, top 8 onwards, quarterfinals on PlayStation, Xbox did confirm those playoff tickets there for later on the year where everyone is trying to get into, but how's that going to play on Dasari's mind right now? That Nicholas Razek's just come in for the opening 10 minutes here, Richard, and caused a little bit of an upset.
Well, it's conceded in the first 10 minutes. Up to this stage, in the knockout stage so far, MS Dasari's conceded 5 goals in total. 5 goals in total. Nicholas Razek's a little bit more of a leakier defence. In the round of 32, he won 10 goals to 3. Round of 16, he squeaked past 6-5. In the quarter-final, he picked it up 7-3. And in that semi-final, 5-1 victory to get into this console final.
So they've both been on a kind of special journey, you could say. None of them have had an easy ride. You will not get an easy ride at this competition. You've talked about a number of the games there. You know, someone that stands out particularly that he just pushed past. Goal machine. He beat him 8 goals to 2. Chance to go 2-0 up. And Nicholas Razek in full focus mode right now. Just literally, just nodding his head saying, you know what, this is my game. This is my time to play and show up.
And I was speaking to 2014 FIWC runner-up in the grand final, Dave, by the way, earlier today, and he said, I don't understand how people are looking past Razek. The way that he's been playing, it's just been dominating people. People are looking past him because he's not one of the fan favourites, because he's not big on Twitter, or because he doesn't bash his opponents. He just comes, plays the game. If he wins, he goes through. If he loses, he's humble, he goes home.
And I said, you know, there is negatives about this game. He got to this stage in Barcelona. Yes, he's already got the playoff ticket. Didn't really need to, you could say, if he qualified for this tournament, didn't really need to play in it. He already got the playoff there, obviously just playing for prize money and a trophy to win this competition, Richard.
And I think for Nicholas Razek himself, I think that defeat that he did suffer in Barcelona to the hands of Tex, I think it hurt him a little bit, because I think right now he wants to go one step further. He wants to lift that trophy.
Ice Vogel is waiting in that cross-console final that will be coming on later here from the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, which is slowly filling up with a live crowd. So watch this massive FIFA esports spectacle. Who will be crowned the winner of the Spring Cup here in Manchester? Will it be Ice Vogel? Or will it be one of these two after a 2-legged game? This is the first leg. The German Nicholas Razek currently is in the driving seat right now.
Good possession, I should say, from Razek.
One thing I've never seen from Mr. Sari is him actually get really angry. Like, I've always seen him, because maybe when we've seen him, he's actually been playing quite well. However, I've never really seen him lose it. You know, we see some players get quite emotional when they play FIFA, the mental side of the game.
Maestro, Rafsu, Sihan, all spring to mind there.
Maybe that is something we might see here right now.
We actually spoke to Olympique Lyon's player, Rafsu, and he said, sometimes you have to try really hard not to get into that state and to keep your mental composure, because it's very hard sometimes to want to, as he said, break.
And as soon as you hit that switch and you start losing it, you could say, and that's when your tactics go out the window. You start making rash decisions, jumping into tackles and, you know, pulling out your line of your defence, making holes in behind it. It's just so easy to pick off your opponent when you're playing against someone like that. If there was a game plan for Razek right now, it's all going to plan. He's going to try and attack again right now. Messi, Vieira, trying to link back up, back to goal for Ronaldo. Have a shot, take a chance there. He nearly went through on the original time, but he didn't expect to go through, did he, Richard? And somehow wins himself a corner.
De Gea's had an absolute mare there in goal. He's kicked out of play and...
Messi, left foot, hit that one!
Rebounds.
No one liking it at the back post there, Richard. You normally see a chance of that a lot of the time on FUT Champions or on Weekend League.
And I think the thing with Dasari is, he came into the tournament playing the 4-3-3. He then told us it wasn't really working for him. He switched into a 4-4-2 with the 2 CDMs. Probably the only player who's played that formation all tournament long. Has he come up against something right now?
Just get rid of the ball!
Why not clear the ball?
You can see Razek there just furious. Why have you not cleared the ball there? Next thing you know, he's got to defend with a corner now. In that one comes, front post flick on anyone's there, and Vieira has to just attempt to jump up for that one. And Marcelo, we know he's got a good crossing stout on him. Will he whip it in? He's onside Messi now in unfamiliar positions. 2 left-footed players out on this right-hand side.
Has no one ever heard the expression, if in doubt, get it out? Just put your foot through it. It might be ugly, going to half-time with a 2-0 lead.
Especially in a big game like this, Richard, it's not always about playing the best football there is. Just get rid of that ball. And added time at 2 minutes. Overall, quite a positive half for the German, Nicolas Rajek. If he had a plan, as I said, coming into this game, it's all working for him right now. And Falcon Dasari needs to pull something out the bag right here, because I haven't seen anything from him. I think that's just that one shot on target or no shots there. I'm not too sure.
One shot on target for Dasari. Rajek dominating the possession as well. Got to be something different from Dasari at half-time. I'd be interested to see. So he started with the 4-4-2 second variation. He's now switched back into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. I like to see that players have got a little bit about them, different game plans here and there. If the game's not going for him, they've got the potential to switch.
And obviously had Abdu on the couch earlier. We said these two did meet in the Swiss style format. MS Dasari beat Nicolas Rajek, but he said it's a different game. I completely agree. You're coming into it with a different mindset, a different approach to the game. You know what you've done wrong, you know what you've done right. You've had time to watch back the stream, break down the game. Now you're coming in with a fresh mindset.
I think that's key as well. There has been a little bit of a break in between these games as well, so maybe Dasari is a confidence player. He likes his games.
Play one more. Marcelo there, the Brazilian.
He likes his games to be played back-to-back. That might be how he plays his weekend league games. If there has been a big break, maybe the second leg we'll see more of a confident performance when he's had this first leg to warm up a little bit.
And how would you find it as well? Would you rather be the first console final to be played? Or, you know, you saw Weigl there, everything seemed to go to plan for him, went through. Or would you rather be sitting back, watching everyone go through that stress, then you come in and play your game?
I think I'd rather play first, know that I've got my place secured in that console final. But to be honest, I think the console final, to be honest, it's just for the lifting of the trophy. A lot of the players...
Take this one. Lovely roulette. Just overcomplicated it a little bit there for me, Richard.
A lot of the players approaching this tournament, it was all about getting the playoff spots, getting to the quarterfinals, and then it's about becoming the best player on your console.
Getting a few bounces going his way there, but just overcomplicating the passes. A simple 5-yard ball. Went for a back heel instead they didn't really need to do on paper, you have to say.
Could say the cross-console final, more of the cherry on top of the ice cake.
Because you've both won your console final there. You've won your PlayStation side, you've won the Xbox side. Now you're just playing, honestly, for that big prize pot and the trophy to lift it up here in Manchester for this Spring Cup. Nicolas Rajek in full control in that red kit in his first leg. All he wants to do is try and open on that left foot with Messi. He's going to recycle. Pull it.
Chance for Rajek to make it free.
Well played off the post.
The way that he just plays the ball, it's instinctive. We often say people play the best FIFA when they're not thinking about what they're doing. It's just all, like I said, instincts. Just playing quick football, not thinking about it.
I'm seeing a little bit of a different MS Dasari right now. Someone maybe that's not as happy with how things are going. He has to pick himself up. There's still a second leg to be played right now. Does it add someone in there? Obviously, you're not playing the conference, your own home right now. You're at a LAN event, you're in the Victoria Warehouse. You've got hundreds of people watching you.
That can't be an excuse, really. These players, if it's not been an excuse up to this point, it can't be now in the...
I was just trying to help him out, Rich. So I was just trying to help him out. Give him something to use an excuse.
Should be no excuses, in my opinion, at this stage.
And right now, I don't know whether it's a case of just slowing down the clock, running down the clock, essentially. If you have just joined, Weigl is already, you could say, the PlayStation 4 winner. Now he's in his cross-console final, waiting for one of these two to come out. On paper, you would have said a lot of people would have backed MS Dasari.
Well,
has anyone been watching Nicolas Rajek over the last few months? You know, this man was in the Xbox final. He lost to Tex.
He's one of the players, though, like I said earlier, he doesn't promote that he's beating people. He doesn't really go out on Twitter and say, oh, I'm one of the best going around at the minute. He just comes in, does the job, wins the tournaments, and then moves on.
And now some changes surely have to be made right now for one of these men, or two changes there for Nicolas Rajek. Will it really play any factors? Is there any difference here right now? Played short. Going to try and recycle now. Ramos into Ferdinand. He's going to switch it back out wide for Marcelo now. Just recycle it. There we go. Maybe one more. Maybe hit it.
What a finish. In off the post. Who else would it be to get you back into a game? And that man, CR7, left-footed. De Gea helpless in between the sticks. 2-1. You said you were looking for an excuse. He's not looking for an excuse. He's looking for a victory.
And sometimes you have to just rely on your big boys in your team. CR7, when he's in the right area, we know what stats this man can possess. Take a shot. Take a risk.
And do you think Razek might be getting flashbacks to Barcelona, where he did crash out of the tournament?
He's currently in front though, Richard. Right now, yes, you could say that if we finish 2-2 here, Richard, it'll be a fantastic ending to this game. Look, there's the channel, if he can feed it. Ronaldinho now, chance. Oh, David De Gea there. The timing of that was just clinical.
Yeah, showed great speed to get off his line, De Gea. Snuff out the danger. Over 10 minutes left to go. There's not going to be a lot more chances in this game. Maybe one chance each for Razek and Desari.
Razek can extend it back to 2 goals, though. It'll be all set for this second game. Got caught in 2 minds there. Ruud Gullit tried to play that through ball to Ronaldinho. That one didn't work out for him. Remember, there's still another leg to come here, so 1 goal between them is nothing. But one more chance will fall to one of these two. It's just whoever can take it.
Coming forward with Ruud Gullit.
Is he offside? No.
He's on.
He's on. Marcelo can cross it. We know the in-game stats that this man does have. Kyle Walker.
Switch and play again.
Into Vieira. Back to Marcelo. He's got his back to goal. MS Desari. No!
He finished it.
I think he meant to just hit it on his left foot there. You can see how puzzled his face looked right there.
Front post, Vieira with the flick on.
I think you're asking a bit too much of Vieira to be heading in from that kind of distance.
And I'll be very interested to see if Desari, because since he switched into the 4-1-2-1-2, he's been a lot more competitive in this game. Will he start with the 4-1-2-1-2 next game, or will he go back to what's got him to the dance with the 4-4-2, the second variation?
You know, second half, we haven't really seen much of Razek. It has been MS Desari, maybe just slowly warming up into this game. Cut back inside, oh, massive save, David De Gea with his feet, as we know. He's just done throughout these 3 days here. Does it every single day in-game FIFA if you're lucky enough to have that 97 rated foot item. And there goes the full-time whistle, Richard. Advantage still to the German, but only narrowly.
Yeah, very narrow advantage to Nicolas Razek. Got to think the way that that game ended as well. MS Desari will be the more confident of the player. He came out on top in the second half. He was the one creating the chances towards the end of that game. And moving forward into that second leg, if he gets an early goal, if he has kick-off, maybe can get a goal back straight away, level it up 2-2. You never know what might happen.
We saw in the last game, I spoke up against Zizinho, 3 goals in 12 in-game minutes of FIFA there. This was how the story went, you could say.
Where's De Gea going? Is he going on his holidays?
He's done well, though. He just dropped Messi on that left foot, and it was another chance just like that. Obviously, it's always either under a player or through the legs, and you see the goal there, through the legs as we used to see. And Ronaldo got just wiped out. Lucky the shot did go in there, but 2-1 the score after that first leg, Richard, and it's all to play for, as we know.
And the winner of this game will be meeting Ice Vogel in the cross-console final.
A player that you could say has surprised a lot of people. Maybe the last 4 here, you know, a few players, people, you know, that watch a lot of FIFA, are probably thinking, you know, maybe these guys...
We said that Ice Vogel were a definite shout coming into the tournament, looking at his Gfinity results, playing week in, week out, analysing your gameplay with Team Envious at that Envy house as well, with the likes of Jazz, with the likes of Aero, all playing against each other. He were a definite shout, but
I think
MS Desari last week, ESWC, he had a very good run in, top 3 finish. We said they were going to be dangerous, but I think Nicolas Razek and Zizinho both went under the radar for a lot of players.
I think you can maybe have a handful of players in there, you know, Ice Vogel, Dammy, Lord Yort, he was in there, another really good player. And you just, you know, there's so many guys here that, you know, if you look deeper into the FUT Champions leaderboards, all these other little FIFA E-World Cup tournaments, you will see that these guys are there for a reason. And then when they get to the big events, listen, they get the big stage of all the viewers and you could say all the prize money. This is their time to shine, essentially.
Yeah, you just see the team there that will be facing Nicolas Razek coming into the tournament.
Well, as we know, we'll see a formation change straight away, maybe a few in-game tactics as well.
This is what I'll be interested. So he started the first game with 4-4-2. He's now going back to the 4-1-2-1-2. Getting to the box for crosses in at that cam position. Stebato attacking on Vieira and Hully. You got to think Vieira should be the CDM used. Henry in at right centre mid, 6'2" frame. He's got good physical. He's also got medium work rates as well. So he is a good centre mid option for him. You see there, straight from kickoff.
Look at the press. Look at the press from Dasari there.
Well, he's gone to defensive straight away from kickoff. That just shows that in his mind, he knows he cannot go a goal, 2 goals down early on, similar to what Zazinho did in that second leg.
Well, as crazy as it sounds, it's one of those mental things. I think it may have been Dito that have done it before. You go defensive, and essentially, as crazy as it sounds, you want your opponent to come onto you while you're a bit deeper, then you can counter-attack them. As crazy as that is, early start maybe. David Ayer with one of the best saves, potentially, of this weekend. Got down low, had to pull out a big hand. Razek will just continue this attack now. One more to Hullet. Massive save again. And Razek is not happy about that.
He feels as though he should have had a goal from at least one of the 2 chances there. Maldini on the edge. Into Hullet. He can shoot from that sort of range. Good defending from Dasari.
Look at the counter-attacking options now for him. Just overplayed that one. You can just see in his face there. He knew he chose the wrong pass or just put the wrong weight on it. Probably pressed a Y there on the Xbox controller, just instead of a simple A pass.
Yeah, if he'd have played a low driven into R9's feet, he then could have played off him. He went with the through ball instead, and just asking a little bit too much of R9 against that inform Antonio Valencia.
Now Ronaldo is back to goal, whip it in with Marcelo. Cut back inside if he can. There's a chance! And we're all square, just like that. We are in for a thriller right now.
And that shows the mental stability that Dasari's got. He's gone, you know what, I can see that's not working, the 4-4-2. I'm going to switch into a 4-1-2-1-2. Second leg, switch into the 4-1-2-1-2. I can see that this is working, and this is what I'm going to roll with. I rate that. It shows that he's not stubborn. It shows that he's seen that something's not working for him and that he's willing to change.
You just saw there, you know, like Ronaldo when he used to step up and take a free kick, just a deep breath, drops the shoulder. Literally, Mr. Sari just did that. Maybe he's thinking, right, now I can start playing this final as I meant to. I got myself in a bit of a hole early on in that last game. Now I'm all square. Now it's everything to play for.
Maybe trying to channel his inner Ronaldo.
And this is how, literally, Richard, the game could just change. Now Razek there, look, getting a little bit frustrated, a puff of the cheeks. And then Mr. Sari's probably got Razek exactly where he wants him. This is where you start thinking back to Barcelona, you start thinking back to the bad times, you could say, in your competitive career.
He's in.
Look at the space. This could be a game changer. Chip the keeper, going for the cheeky chip.
That's a save from De Gea.
Not the easiest of keepers to chip all the time, and David De Gea leaps up, just about gets a hand on that one.
Well, it's often the case. Half of the time, the keeper will jump up and make the save. Half of the time, they'll go down. On that occasion.
Was that the right choice of finish for you, or are you thinking?
Just open up your body, use the low-driven finesse. It's one of the most reliable shots in the game. You've got to think if he did do the low-driven, 3-2 scoreline.
Nicolas Razek will be desperate now to get himself back in this game. There's the ball. There's the killer ball. Look how angry Razek is there. He's disappointed. David De Gea is just going on a runabout. I'm not sure what he's doing. Get yourself back in goal. But out of all the players, Richard, you do not want it to fall to Kante, unfortunately. That sprint touch just literally killed him.
I'd rather it fall to someone like Sergio Ramos in that area there.
You're thinking if it went to a Neymar, Ronaldo, an R9 Ronaldo, a Ronaldinho, they would have had a better something like that. Anyone. But unfortunately, Kante cut back inside. That is how FIFA can be at times. You go from an attack down at one end. Next thing you know, you're down by a goal down the other.
Is that a replica of the first goal? Exactly the same. Got in down the side, low-driven pass across the box, and who else but Ronaldo to slot in from close range.
It's like thinking back to Gabinho, back for another qualifier we saw. The same finishing techniques. If you don't learn from it once, you don't learn from it twice, you will just get punished there.
Yeah, and if you are a Mr. Sari, if it's worked for you the first time, why not do it again? Keep on trying it until your opponent reads it.
Until he decides, right, I'm going to defend that one right now. And the worst thing is I can't even pull out Dani Alves there for defending that because he's not even on. It's Antonio Valencia.
I bet you would have, though, if you were on.
I would have. It was just such a simple finish. It was Ronaldo in to Ronaldo, you could say. As we're used to saying, and seeing a lot here in the competitive scene. Marcelo, ball box. Oh! About to say ball across the box there, just got a bit confused with the words. Messi, Ronaldo! Wow, that is how you turn a game around in a massive final. Razek right now is in deep, deep trouble.
I talk about instincts. That is probably one of the most instinctive finishers that you're going to see in this tournament. It not even turned, it just shot straight away. He knew that was pretty much a 99% chance of going in. And now we're seeing a couple of changes. Stay back while attacking on Marcelo. Doesn't want him overlapping. If that's something that MS Cesari, you talk about the knowledge of the game. The two chances that he's had, the first two goals that Desari scored, it was Marcelo getting in behind and passing across the box. If that's because Desari hadn't got stay back while attacking on and he knew that he could get into that area, that's genius.
And you can just imagine the Twitch chat right now. All those Saudi Arabian fans, they know this man is a king at FIFA back in Saudi Arabia. They know what he's capable of. He's been waiting to get back on this big stage and perform again. ESWC was a warm-up, you could say. He got third place there, got himself a qualification spot into the next competition in Sao Paulo. But he said, if I can get a playoff here, I won't need to do that. He's got himself a playoff here, and he's just turned this game around. He was 2-0 down, Richard. Now he is 4-2 up.
And I spoke about it. Do you think that the second leg, it maybe come out a lot stronger? He had a gap in between the two games. First leg, maybe warming up. Second leg, here we go. 3-0 up in 30 minutes. What a performance from Desari so far.
To be honest, I actually thought this game was a little bit later on. 30 minutes, 3 goals. We saw an early start from Ice Vogel in the last one to basically kill the tie off there. And now Falcon Desari has made a pause. Obviously he plays for Team Falcon. Obviously the Royal is part of that team as well. Another really talented Xbox player that, well, both these players did exceptionally well on the FIFA 17 circuit, you could say, part of the FUT Champions, the FUT Championship, really. Obviously the final was in Berlin, which Rocky did take. Shells was the runner-up there. And FIFA's probably up there as one of the hardest esports, obviously, to be so consistent over so many levels. Razek! Here we go. He's tried to lift up the crowd, get the ball, and we're only 1 goal behind right now.
4-3 the scoreline. He spoke about a couple of them Saudi players, Brandon, because of where they are from. They're not actually eligible to play in all the competitions, so when they do get an opportunity to play, they seize it with both hands. Switching back to the 4-4-2, this is the formation that he's played all the way up to this match with. He went 2-0 down in the first half of the first leg, switched formation. He's been in cruise control from here on out. He's switching back to the formation. This could be the turning point in the game.
And they do say, Richard, the best players
are versatile.
The referee, I think, is even going over there just saying, calm yourself down, okay? I know you're very passionate about this final right now, but he wasn't happy about Summit Razek. He's only 1 goal behind right now. Stay focused. He can easily get back in this game. If he starts to lose that mental side of it, Desai will literally just have him exactly where he wants him. Could just go and get another goal there and just kill off this tie.
We often speak about the very best players having different formations that they can play. Look at someone like a Gorilla. This weekend he played 3-5-2 for most of the tournament. Usually plays a variety of different formations. If he's losing, he'll switch into a 3-4-2-1. Someone like Rocky from last year can play a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, can play a 4-2-3-1. Different formations for different times of the game.
And why was it as well? I'm just trying to think back here to a number of other events we've looked at. No, it was earlier. We've seen it in a number of events, and the guy spoke about on the couch, I think it was Abdu, saying, you know, there's a reason why these guys are playing 3 at the back formations, because if you play a 3-5-2, you can play it as a 5 at the back, essentially.
And you also get the best 3 centre-backs on the game all on the pitch at the same time. Prime Maldini, team of the year, Sergio Ramos.
And don't get me wrong, yes, these are centre-backs, but they can, you know, you see the pace that Ramos has got, the 90.
And that prime Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, for sure, you know, these guys can get up and down, they can literally do everything. You see, especially Ramos play right back occasionally, CDM, Desari, get yourself back in front by even bigger deficit, now off the post, on the
And you see the emotion from Razek. He unbelievably annoyed with that goal going in. He can't let his emotions get the better of him. I feel as though that's something that happened with Tex in the console final in Barcelona. He wasn't playing against his opponent. He thought he was playing maybe against the game, playing against his emotions more. He can't let him do that. He has to play against the person in front of him. That's what Desari's doing.
Just see how disappointing he is as well. I think he was expecting David De Gea to make an initial, could say, double save there with that one, but sometimes that's how it goes, and Ronaldo will get his hat-trick here in the second leg. And, you know, if you could, you would say you want to always play better in your second leg, because right now, he's on form, MS Desari.
Sometimes that is how the cookie does crumble.
Such an interesting story as well, because he nearly got disqualified with today. That he nearly turned up too late to play, and what a half that man has had right now. We've seen 5 goals in it. One of the best halves, you've got to say, especially in the knockout stages today. And MS Desai right now, you're in control. Don't go messing it around. Don't go changing too much about it, because everything seems to be working well for you.
Yeah, I think it was in that quarter-final, wasn't it? His first game off today. He actually was, I think Jimmy was saying, maybe like 5 minutes away from being disqualified, because he showed up he was very late to show up. We thought, would that affect him potentially? He won that game 7-3.
In cruise control, you could say.
It seems as though nothing can faze this man. If he's behind, he knows he's got the game to get back in front. If he's late, he still don't matter. He's on time, and he'll perform.
He's performing right now when it really matters. Obviously, if it stays like this, our cross-console final will be Ice Vogel up against Desari. And other people have predicted that, to be honest, especially guys here as well. But, you know, as you said, Rajek, he is a really good German player in the scene and sometimes goes under the radar. But right now, he needs something special to get recognised. 2 goals, in fact. Look how deep he is as well. Look how many players Desari has got back there. Don't get me wrong, yes, he's still got his 2 attackers there, but look how he's controlling in that 2 there. You can just see Vieira. Look how quick that player changes. It's such a key factor in competitive FIFA. There's the shot out of nowhere. Maybe he has got a few people forward there. It's like he looks at his screen there, started making actions like to try and hype up his team to say, can we start performing a little bit better right now?
So it's MS Desari with the 4-4-2 narrow. With a 4-4-2 second variation. I spoke about it. I said, is that a good move for him? This seems to be the formation that, if anything, has cost him in this game so far. What's he done? Swap back to the 4-1-2-1-2. So many formation changes.
You can see he's trying to just psych himself up there, as you can see on the right side of the screen, thinking, right, I'm in this game, come on. Let's turn it on right now. Next thing you know, it could be 5-5 going into extra time. As you know, throughout this tournament, Richard, in all the games, Swiss style onwards, 2 legs, aggregate scorelines, no away goals, nothing like that, not Champions League-esque here.
Great finish from Ronaldinho as well, just on the edge of the box.
Maybe not something you always anticipate. Yes, I know he's got the stats for him to do that, but it made it look so easy.
Well, it's all about the unpredictability, isn't it? Because when you play against other pros this often, you often get...
Wow, what a poor place to lose possession there. Just 1 touch too many. The pressure from Desari could be all the difference right now.
You often get put in the mindset of playing against pros. For example, a pro's not going to take a long shot. A pro's not really going to play an over-the-top through ball. There's a certain rule book almost all pros follow, and that's why Tex in Barcelona was so unpredictable and no one could really put a finger on it, because they were doing skill moves. They were playing weird passes. They were shooting from range.
Basically like mixing up, you could say, 3 different regions of FIFA. So you play, like, obviously, the American players we saw last year, especially in FIFA 17, always used to take long shots. And the EU players just got the perfect goals off the post. Inches from equalising. Nicolas Rajek. Get the ball back and attack again. Do not go and lose your head right now.
Has to remain composed, does Rajek. Probably feels like the world's against him right now.
You have to keep working. You have to keep changing his tactics if it isn't working. As you said, there's just a handful of players out there that can work with maybe 3 to 5 different formations in game. I think you mentioned about the bundled guys as well. You know, Mel from there, you know, the co-owner of it, the part owner, said, if you come in to play for me, or sign up players, you have to have 1 formation you're going to stick with minimum, and you have to have options as well.
Ronaldinho looking for the low driven across the goalkeeper. Another pause from MS Desari. Is it going to be another formation change?
Well, he is in front right now. Is he looking for maybe more of an anchor in that team?
So this is the formation that he played at ESWC, the 4-3-3 second variation. He's got the CDM just to hold, and then Hullet and Kante just patrolling that area. Substitutes coming on. It looks like it's going to be Pele at right wing. Ronaldo, the 99 CR7 Team of the Year variant at striker, and then Team of the Year Messi at left wing. Looking to see what his opponent's playing. Razek going with a 4-2-2.
4-2-2 as we're used to seeing from a number of guys, but a corner for Razek now. He has been chasing this game and he's been playing very well. To be fair, as you said, he's brought a Neymar there. Anyone else coming on for him? For Desai will be Pele. For Ronaldo, not too sure which Ronaldo that one is.
For Desari, it's the R9 coming off.
You have to say he's working his David De Gea now. Nicolas Razek, he's really knocking on the door of Desari, saying
that's a mistake. 2 against 2 at the back, but he's got no runners as Desari going forward.
He'll recycle it. It will go back, and then he'll move forward as a team. Wow. To be fair, he's done exceptionally well to pull that ball off now. If he goes and scores from it as well, just made it look so easy. Especially Messi that played that ball into Marcelo as well. Made the run down the line. Not really a threaded through ball on paper, but more of a lofted through ball. Played it. Links inside. One more. Surely conclude that.
Football. That is unbelievable FIFA from MS Desari.
And Pele the hero right now for this man from Saudi Arabia. He is in the lead now, 6 goals to 4. And just over 20 in game minutes right now, Richard. Don't get me wrong, 2 goals is nothing.
And the only reason that chance came about was because he changed the formation. He had Pele on the right wing. He was the extra man, was Pele.
It just made him, you know, play a little bit wider as such. Exploit those areas, obviously up against the 4-2-2. Unless he has changed it, Razek. Maybe that was a way that he wanted to play. He's got those player instructions on as well to really cause havoc at that back line. Not going to say it's over yet, but certainly he should be feeling a little bit more comfortable right now. Razek, though, can easily turn this round.
This is the most goals that Nicolas Razek has conceded in one singular game.
You go back there.
6-4 the scoreline.
You know, you go back there for Razek, he was in the same position like that, maybe in the game before that with Kante. The difference there, that first touch, it's just so different, obviously, and that could have been a goal for him right there.
If you're wondering why the guys aren't using the Prime Pele, not available at this date for the players on the EA accounts. It's an unlocked account, so pretty much a child in a candy store. Every single player is available for you to choose.
It's the same you could say with, obviously, I know Zanetti wouldn't be in a lot of people's teams, don't get me wrong, you told me about his jumping stats, which seem to be incredible there. That touch from Neymar needs to be better. Needs to try and use that close control, dribbling a lot better. These guys have got the stats for it. I know you're a big fan of that 95. Neymar, Richard said he's one of the best players out there and just rushed it, didn't he?
95 Neymar says is a Team of the Year item in an inform card. That's what it is. The stats that he possesses, 98 dribbling, I think he's got.
5-star weak foot as well, you were telling me.
5-star weak foot, unbelievable stats across the board, and that Team of the Season item when he does come out, that Neymar, put a few players on notice.
You look at the teams now, Rich, you look how stacked they are. You know, adding in the Team of the Seasons in here as well, whether we're going to see an even better version of these foot items, it's going to be incredible as we go later on in the year. Wow, what a big tackle there from Ramos.
And this game's still available for Nicolas Razek. If he can get a goal maybe for the 85th minute, definite opportunity for him to get back into this game, but has to start taking his chances when they do fall for him.
As easy it is to say, obviously, from the commentary side of things, you have to stay composed. You literally do, because, you know, the mental side. Links in, Ronaldo, drag back, get yourself a goal, get the ball. Could we be on for a grand stand finish right now in Manchester?
On Grand National Weekend, will it be a photo finish for who is joining Ice Vogel in the console final? 6-5 the scoreline, 10 minutes remaining.
It's on, Richard, it certainly is on right now.
How does Desari play this? Does he decide to go forward, or does he decide to keep the ball at the back? Looks like he is going to play forward and try and get a goal. He's gave it away.
I just can't imagine how nervous MS Desari is right now. Put yourself in his shoes, playing for a final place, playing for a lot more money. a chance at this trophy. All you got to do is defend. He's given away the ball. Nicolas Rajek will be desperate to go and get one. Henry goes one way, goes...
Yes! Come on!
Let's fucking go! Do not write off this man, because he will cause you problems.
6-4 with 15 minutes left. 6-6. What a game. And once again, back to the 4-4-2 for MS Desari. Formation change City, we should call this man instead.
Back to the drawing board. It's not obviously worked for him. He had the advantage. All he had to do was defend Rich. All he had to do was keep the ball. It was a simple 5-yard pass. He went and lost the ball, and that's 2 goals in about 4 in-game minutes for him. 81st, and I believe just before the 85th there for him. 3 at the back still.
Got to think
Rajek, surely change it back. Surely change that back. There we go. It's back to a 4-2-2 right now. He made that change. That was what was important here, Richard. He made the change. He took the risk. He played 3 at the back, and it's worked for him right now.
What a game. Through
it's one of them. It's always through
Marcelo.
the legs.
Thierry Henry, the prime icon, being the difference. 93 rated. Wow. Where do we go from here?
Who's going to step up and make themselves a hero right now for their nation? And get themselves in that cross-console final. Will it be an all-German affair? Obviously, if Rajek gets through, or will the Saudi Arabian of MS Desari maybe pinch a win? Maybe there'll be one more chance, Richard. Maybe there will be a winner. Patient play from Desari now. Kante into Ronaldo. Just get rid of the ball.
Chance for Rajek now to counter-attack.
We're going to extra time right now. Just get rid of that ball and you'll go there.
Desari's done well to win it back, and he wins a free kick in quite a dangerous area.
Rajek's fuming that he's giving away that free kick.
He's played it short.
3 minutes added time. There's going to be at least one more decent attack right now. It's going to fall to Rajek. Go and make yourself a hero.
He's playing backwards. Is he happy for extra time?
As long as it doesn't go to penalties, because it literally can go anyway. Make yourself a hero. What a comeback this could be. Neymar
wins himself a corner. Last play of regulation time.
Front post flickered if he wants it. Doesn't want to. Play short to Ronaldinho right now. Whip that in to the box. Vieira.
Can't go backwards. Can't go backwards. The referee will blow.
Ramos, there we go. Neymar back to goal. Fake shot, drag back, shots.
What a save from the deflection. He wins himself another corner.
It's pressure central from the German right now of Nicolas Rajek. In it goes, and David De Gea will send that one to extra time now. Just get rid of that one. Oh no. There we go, extra time, Richard. You're nearly out your seat. I've nearly fallen off my chair. And 6-6, the score right now between these two.
And a round of applause from the audience here. They can appreciate unbelievable FIFA at the highest level. 6-6, the scoreline.
Not even that long left. Desari had a 2-goal advantage.
With 10 minutes left.
All he had to do was just keep the ball, just play possession. And he's going to be disappointed right now. You've got to say the up hand might be for Nicolas Rajek right now. What a turnaround from that man. Now, people have said this man deserves a lot more credit, and I'm all for that as well. You know, he's coming out of a really tough German scene that, you know, you look at some of the big names in there, Dito, Mo Aubameyang in there. Look, there's one already in that cross-console final. Ice Vogel, unbelievable year so far.
Yeah, Germany probably the #1 FIFA country at the minute going forward.
And what a finish this game could be right now. He's trying to find that ball. He's got a bit of space for Pele! Yeah! MS Desari is back in the lead now. However, there's still a lot of time now in extra time.
Yeah, we saw 2 goals in 10 minutes from Rajek. Has to do it again if he wants to win this game and not go to penalties.
Are we going to a change of formation, Richard, from MS Desari?
Of course we are.
We are. We're going back to change of formation again.
Into the 4-3-3. I've said it again. I've said it once. I'll say it again. This is what he played last week at ESWC, where he was so successful. Finished top 3. Personally, I'd like to see him go to a 4-2-3-1. Something more defensive cover, because it's clear that
why is he making this
really
change?
Defend.
When he concedes, he goes back to this one. Is that to try and get him a goal? Is this meant to be some sort of more defensive formation on cards? Is that what he's trying to go about here? Well,
he's got the one CDM in Patrick Vieira holding, then Kante and Pele as the left centre mid and right centre mid.
You'd rather have 2 CDMs in there, though. I just don't get what this man is trying to do right now.
What a finish that is from Pele as well. Coming in off the right side. High into the top left corner. What a start to extra time.
And you have to say it was Nicolas Rajek that looked like he'd have a little bit more confidence there. He came back from that 2-goal deficit, got 2 goals, now he's all square, and now he's back to that drawing board again. But Rajek now, the pressure will be ramped up, and as time goes on, expect him to play free at the back if he can make a change. If he does, he might not even have any pauses left, Richard. He might have to make that change at half-time in extra time. You've got to say, MS Desai would have learned from that mistake right now. He would be keeping possession a little bit more. Trying to relax on the ball.
Good switch of play from Desari. Ferdinand to Marcelo. And he just needs to calm down right now. I imagine the heartbeats of these 2 players going
crazy.
100 miles an hour.
What a thriller this one is. We saw a lot of these kind of games. You know, I'm thinking back to Vitality Brian yesterday. In 8A, he was having in his Swiss-style format. I think this might have been on Friday as well. A 7-7 going to penalties there. Rajek, he wants to get himself an equaliser. Into Neymar. He tries to just drop the shoulder or a fake shot there. A chance just to breathe for Desari. There's the killer ball. There's the threaded through ball. Play it. And that was the difference there. He tried to be a bit more defensive, keep possession, and now he's lost it. Added time before, I'm gonna guess this now, Richard. Rajek plays free at the back. He has to go out for it.
Yeah, has to go 3-4-2-1 and just throw everything at MS Desai to try and salvage a penalty shootout at this stage.
And there we go, half-time in extra time, Richard.
12 shots, 10 on target for Rajek.
The stats of MS Desari, pretty much taking every chance he's had, that man.
What a game. What a console final.
Just waiting to see if there has been a change. Has there been a change?
I think that's what Desari's just waiting for right now.
As he played through at the back, is he making that change, Nicolas Rajek? We're waiting for the pause there. I'm going to guess there's some sort of attacking change being made by the delay on that, of the game being resumed on the side.
We'll be able to tell from the kickoff for Rajek.
You can see on the mini-map, it looks
like a 3-4-2-1.
It looks like he's going out for it right now. He has to.
I imagine the custom tactics, pressure, aggression.
Everyone forward.
All pushed up. Maybe team width as well. Give him a little bit more width for the switcher plays to try and pull out Desari's players. Desari just doesn't look that comfortable keeping possession to me.
And here we go. Will there be an equaliser? I'm sure everyone here right now at the Victoria Warehouse in Manchester wants to see something magical happen right now. Imagine a penalty shootout to send you into that cross-console final. I don't think anyone really wants to go there deep down.
That is FIFA drama personified, if that is a penalty shootout.
Carl Walker. Oh, lovely dummy there. MS Desari conclude this game. Look at the space on the edge of the box. He's played it. Kante, one more. Nah, he wanted to just do a half turn there and maybe get a shot away.
Hully not got a lot left in the tank. Look at that stamina bar. Rajek playing on emotions right now.
Neymar. Pull it. There's that pass on the forehand side. If he can find it, track back from that R9 Ronaldo.
Look at the bottom of your screen. If he switches the play, it looks like he could be in.
Pele is off. Surely that's the ball. Play it and conclude this game now. Pele in front of David. A massive save.
Still alive. Oh, he's got it.
Recycle it.
It's just lost it.
He's done well. He's done exceptionally well.
One more chance.
What a tackle, Ramos, there. That could be the tackle that sends him into the cross-console final, makes him the Xbox champion. And that is the pass that had to be made there, just to play it back. 1 minute added time. Surely Desari's done enough. This man is getting back to the big stage right now. He's just confirmed his win on Xbox. MS Dasari up against Icevogel, Richard. What a cross-console final we are going to see right now. I'm out of breath after that one.
What a performance from MS Dasari. You see the fans there chanting his name.
He's lapping up. He's lapping up all the celebrations.
And that's 2 finals for Nicholas Razek and 2 defeats. When is he going to break this curse of the console final?
He should be proud of himself right now, though. What a show he put on. What, you know, a showcase for FIFA esports that was there from Razek. He scored 2, I scored 2, 6-6, extra time. Nearly something very special there, but let's look back at some of the key moments of that game.
Yeah, goals, goals, goals. All the way through this game. Late drama at the end of regulation time. What a game that was, Brandon.
Oh, incredible there. And that pass there we talked about before, the same situation happened for Razek. It dropped to Kante. And this one as well. Pick that one out the bag. And that's your cross-console final concluded. Obviously, that will be the game we're going to be looking at, the big show, the one that has all the talking points over it, Richard. It's going to be MS Dasari up against Icevogel. Unfortunately, not an all-German final in the end, but Razek deserves a lot of praise. Yes, he's lost again in the final, but again, he's made it to, you know, the top level of FIFA on the Xbox side of things.
Yeah, arguably the second best player, you could say, at this tournament on the Xbox. What a performance from MS Dasari. He'll be joining Icevogel in that final.
He will be indeed, and that massive final will be coming up very shortly. Do not go anywhere. It's Icevogel up against MS Dasari.
Are you ready?